Let's talk about sole proprietorships, all tax forms you need to file. And one thing I want to say here, let me give you an overview first so we have a clear idea what we're talking about. So when we talk about tax forms for sole proprietors, you have a diversity of tax forms to really account for, okay? And it's really important to first understand what sole proprietorship taxation really means. So a sole proprietor is an entrepreneur who owns a business personally and has not incorporated the business. Okay, so typically startups and side businesses are by nature sole proprietorships. So once your business reaches a certain size, it should be converted to an S corporation or C corporation. So this business entity types allow for shares to be sold to outside owners and can reduce business taxes, as the corporate tax rate is likely lower than what your personal marginal rate would be at that point. So a sole proprietor does not file a business tax return. Instead, taxes are reported on the personal income return of the owner. So this is pretty straightforward. So when we talk about the taxation of sole proprietorship taxes come in a variety of forms. So income is reported on Schedule C, which is part of the individual tax return form 1040, okay? And so this is where you will input a traditional income statement, also called P&L, so profit and loss statement. And so during the year, what happens here is that sole proprietors are required to report estimated taxes to the IRS every quarter, and estimated taxes are due on any income that is not subject to withholding. And a sole proprietorship business must also pay self-employment taxes, which are Social Security and Medicare. And finally, sole proprietors are also required to report on any other business taxes, such as sales tax, for instance. You have FICA, for instance, you have FUTA, and you have SUTA, okay? And so we also have sole proprietorship taxes for LLCs. So an LLC actually is a structure used to limit the liability of owners. So with an LLC, an owner usually refers to as a member on legal documents, is not personally liable for the liabilities of the business. The member can still separately guarantee loans or other liabilities, and many financial institutions will require them to do so, okay? So when you actually register, let's say, an LLC for your business, it will automatically be either a sole proprietorship if you are the sole owner, or a general partnership if there are multiple owners. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. One thing I want to say here is that when you if you are a sole owner, you are considered a sole proprietorship. But if you are a general partnership, general partnerships file a business tax return, and the income passes through to the owner's tax return, okay? And LLCs in the form of a sole proprietorship file on the owner's personal tax return, that's Form 1040 Schedule C. And LLCs with one member are called single member LLCs and are treated as disregarded entity because the LLC does not file its own tax return, okay? So now, what forms to use as a sole proprietorship? So the first thing is I want to show you right now on the screen. You have a Schedule C. So everything revolves around Schedule C. So the main form is Schedule C on IRS Form 1040. And so you can find Form 1040 instructions on the IRS websites, and you can also find the same instructions for Schedule C and the IRS website. So let's quickly go through the main parts of Schedule C so we have a clear idea what we're speaking about. One thing I want to say here is that you want to start by filling in the name of the proprietor or owner and the business name. And so next you have to put your NAICS code, okay? And you also have the business employer ID number, your EIN. So if you do not have any employee or contractor, you may not need an EIN. Then you have to really think about what kind of income what kind of accounting method you want to go for. If you want to go for the cash accounting method or the accrual accounting method, you got to have a clear idea what you want. I mean, you can change this later on though. You can start with the cash accounting method, which is simpler, and then you can switch to accrual, which is actually a GAAP compliance. GAAP stands for generally accepted accounting principles. So you want to make sure that your accounting method is compliant with US GAAP. So, and the thing is, you have to also account for business income and expenses as you actually go through your Schedule C. So basically, if this is too complicated for you to file, you can actually, or to fill in, you can just use accounting software such as H&R Block or TaxAct or TaxSlayer or Jackson Hewitt. You have a constellation of tax software tools that can really help you file your sole proprietorship taxes. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about sole proprietorship, all tax forms you need to file. So besides Schedule C, you have Schedule SC that will be really will come handy for you also. So this actually is for self-employment tax. And so this tax is your personal Social Security and Medicare contributions. So the rate is a combined 15.3. So we are speaking about 15.3% for the first about $150,000 of earnings, and 2.9% for Medicare only after that. Okay. And so Schedule SC, this is how it looks like. You have this on the screen here, and this is kind of important to keep in mind. You also have another form to really keep in mind, that's 1040ES. This is for estimated tax. So every quarter, you want to calculate your estimated earnings for the year and pay tax on a quarter of that number. So when it is time to file annual taxes, you will either owe more or get a refund. And if you do not pay estimated taxes quarterly, the IRS may fine you and charge interest. So it's one of those things you do not want to go there, okay? So this is how schedule. So here is actually the estimated tax worksheet looks like when we talk about 1040ES. You also have to think about Form 941. So basically, this is for employers' quarterly filing of FICA and withholding taxes, or Form 944 to file yearly if your annual liability is $1,000 or less. So this is the employee and employer portion of Medicare and Social Security. You also might have to have a Form 940 for annual federal unemployment taxes, FUTA. So there will also be a state form for state unemployment taxes, SUTA. So look on your state Secretary of State website for the form. You might also want to think about Form W-3. This is actually a form that allows you to report the sum of all W-2s. So Form W-3 is not required if you submit W-2s online, okay? And the last form that you might have if you have a sole proprietorship is a Form 1099. So Form 1099 is for contract employees and subcontractors. So one copy goes to the IRS and one to the contractor. Another copy goes to the state tax authorities also. And also you might have various excise taxes that may apply to your sole proprietorship. Let me give you more details as we talk about sole proprietorship, all tax forms you need to file. So the thing is that, sole proprietorship, I've already established that it's very detailed, it's very flexible, no doubt about it. Okay. Now you have a constellation of tax forms to really use, yes, but every tax form depends upon your situation. For example, if you do not have employees, you may not have to file Form 940, 941, 944. So if you are a one-person business, and you only actually hire contractors, you may only need to worry about Form 1099, right? But the thing here is that when we talk about Form 1040, how is it related to a Schedule C and also sole proprietorships? Well, the thing is that every individual earning an income in the United States needs to file this form for the tax return. So this is the main tax form, and all the other forms that signify your other source of income need to be attached to Form 1040. So as a sole proprietor, you need to attach other forms to your 1040 that specify particulars around income and loss statements, so your P&L, okay? And so when we talk about your Form 1040, your Form 1040 is really quintessential. It's really helping the IRS know exactly what's happening with your sole proprietorship, what kind of income you derive throughout the year, what kind of transactions pertain to your specific activity, all that kind of stuff. So the role of Schedule C in filing sole proprietorship taxes is that Schedule C is merely a form that reports all your profits and losses. So in the case of a sole proprietorship, you declare your profit and loss on Schedule C of Form 1040. But to file Schedule C, you have to qualify first, okay? The conditions to qualify are your goal is to engage in business activity for income and profits, and you have continuous and regular business activity. So those two conditions have to be met. We have to have continuity here, so it has to be continuous. And this thing actually helps the IRS know whether or not they can establish you as a material participant in your sole proprietorship business. This is kind of important. And but Schedule C is one of the primary forms. There are more forms to file in some particular circumstances. Now, let me dig a little deeper here so you have a clear idea what I mean. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about sole proprietorship, all tax forms you need to file. So you have 940, Form 940, okay? So Form 940 is used for reporting your yearly Federal Unemployment Tax Act FUTA taxes. So FUTA taxes are collected to fund state unemployment insurance agencies and support unemployed people. And FUTA tax is only for employers, and the owner of a sole proprietorship must also pay the tax, okay? Now, it's really important to really understand that Form 940 may apply to your business depending upon the particulars of your niche. For instance, the sector you're in, the geography you are actually operating from also plays an important role, and also your past history. Okay, so Form 940 is filled out and filed in the first quarter of a tax year and enables the IRS to determine FUTA contributions from a sole proprietorship. So to collect or remit FUTA, a sole proprietorship must have paid at least $1,500 in wages in a calendar quarter in the same year or the year before. This means that you, as the only employee, must have earned this amount. And you must have at least one full-time employee, which is a sole proprietorship, which really basically this type of a business structure satisfies. One thing I want to say before moving on here is that when we talk about Form 940, you have to understand that this basically is the form, the FUTA form, at the federal level. But there are some states that also have a state unemployment tax act. So they have a FUTA, but they also have SUTA. So you might have your sole proprietorship might have to actually comply with SUTA tax form filing also. And there are some cases where the county or the city where you're operating from might also have their local taxes, so you will need also to actually comply at that level. One thing I want to say here also is that when we talk about SUTA, FUTA, and all those taxes, you always have to look at the different layers of tax compliance. So you want to start with federal here, and then you move from federal to state, and then from state to a county, from county to city, and from city to township. It really, so you got to really go through the hierarchy, the ladder, to see what really applies to your specific sole proprietorship. Let me talk to you about Form 941. So if you have a sole proprietorship, you might have to actually acquaint yourself with Form 941. You can see this on the screen here. So Form 941 is basically another important document used by a sole proprietorship to report the total payments made to the employee. So again, if you are a one-person business, you can still actually file Form 941. So 941 basically, as the title says on the screen here, it's employer's quarterly federal tax return. Okay, pretty straightforward here. So since the sole proprietorship owner is the only employee, Form 941 is used to report their payouts. However, Form 941 is essentially a quarterly tax return for the employer. Okay, so there are 6 parts that relates to Form 941, and it is actually filed 4 times a year, followed by tax payments. It's quarterly. Makes sense. So the employer has to specify the quarter in each filing, and the 4 payments, actually the 4 quarters, each have 3 months, starting with January in the first quarter to December in the last month, December being the last month in the fourth quarter. And in part 1 of Form 941, you will find that there is a section to report the number of employees, just one in a sole proprietorship. And you have to also think about the total earnings and the taxes owed. So this section also includes the information about the tax amounts, and if the employer owes the taxes or has overpaid. It really depends. And so part 2 of Form 941 lists the tax deposits schedule for employment taxes, and sole proprietors must deposit either once a month or twice a week, depending on their income. And the higher the payment, the more closely packed a deposit schedule. So those are really important. So if the taxes are below the $2,500 mark, you only need to pay the tax when you submit the form. Okay. And part 3 of the form includes bankruptcy information, if it's still paying the employees' wages, and if the business is actually a seasonal employer. So finally, in the last two parts of Form 941, the employer needs to provide specific information about the CPA who can speak with the IRS, okay, in case you want to really outsource the preparation of your Form 941 to a third party. And then you also have to account for another form if you are a sole proprietor. So this is a Form 944. So if you think about Form 944, it's basically the annual version, the annual equivalent of Form 941. So Form 941 that I just spoke to you about, it's basically a quarterly event. But Form 944 is an annual event. So if you qualify, you only just have to send this once a year. One thing I need to say before actually moving on here is that one thing I need to say before talking about 944 is that for 941 you are able to amend your return through Form 941X. And you can do so also with Form 944 by filing Form 944X. If for any reason you just file and you just realize afterwards that there was a mistake or some kind of inconsistency, okay? Now, there are some exceptions. So when we talk about Form 944, there are some exceptions to filing sole proprietorship taxes. If your annual employment taxes are $1,000 or less for an entire tax year, you can choose to file your taxes using Form 944. But again, the threshold is $1,000. It has to be less than $1,000. In other words, you are basically a minor employer. If that's the case, then you can really do that once a year. Now, one thing I want to really talk about here is that when we talk about federal taxes, we are also talking about state taxes. So if you are a sole proprietorship, all tax forms that you need to actually file, you need to also look for the equivalent at the state level. Okay, depending upon your state, depending upon the size of your operation. I mean, if you're a sole proprietor, you can still be a sizable sole proprietorship. I mean, there are accountants, there are lawyers, there are architects, there are artists. You have all kinds of business occupations that really file as a sole proprietorship. They are pretty relatively big, to speak bluntly. So the bottom line here is that simply because you're a sole proprietorship doesn't mean that you are a small operation. But if you do, then in this case, you need to only file Form 944, and that's basically how you file your taxes, how you file your employment taxes every single year. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about sole proprietorship, all tax forms you need to file. So let me do a quick recap here. So I gave you the overview. So I talked to you about all the tax forms that you need to really pay attention to and more details, okay? So we talked about Form 1040, Schedule C. We talked about Form 940, 941, and 944. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.